Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we take source materials like articles, notes, research, and really try to distill the key insights for you.
Turning the complex into something clear and usable.
Exactly. And today, we're doing a deep dive into something really quite powerful. It's from the H7O Ministries Daily Devotional. Specifically, an excerpt they titled, "The Cornerstone, Acceptance or Judgment."
Ah, yes, that's a foundational piece.
It really is. It tackles this core tension, doesn't it? This idea of the rejected stone and what that means. Acceptance, judgment, how we live our lives.
Right. And our mission today, like always, is to sort of unearth the most vital wisdom from this devotional for you.
Giving you that shortcut to be well-informed on something that honestly still feels incredibly relevant.
Absolutely. That's what's so striking about this devotional's take. These truths, they aren't just old stories. They feel timeless, fundamentally human.
Yeah.
You know, on the surface, it's parables, prophecy, but underneath, there's this unexpected wisdom about who we are, divine plans, and what we actually build our lives on.
It really encourages you to look deeper than the surface text.
Definitely. Finding the profound in what might seem simple at first glance.
Okay, so let's unpack this central idea then. The devotional brings us right to Luke 20.1c.
The stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone.
Exactly. And this isn't, just some verse pulled out of context. The devotional explains it's key to understanding the whole drama around the rejection of Jesus, the Messiah. And it highlights how Jesus used the parable of the wicked tenants, not just as a tale, but almost like a mirror.
Right. A mirror reflecting first the specific history of ancient Israel, their pattern of rejecting prophets.
But the devotional says it goes wider than that.
Oh, definitely. It reflects that history, yes, but also what the devotional calls this tendency towards a religion without lordship.
Okay, what does that mean exactly?
Yeah.
A religion without lordship.
Well, it's like wanting the benefits of faith, maybe the community, the comfort, the identity.
Good parts.
Right. But without actually submitting to God's authority, his guidance, his ultimate rule in your life. It's kind of a pick and choose spirituality.
I see. And this connects to the irony mentioned.
Precisely. The great divine irony. Think about it. What humans reject, what powerful people might despise.
Yeah.
God chooses that very thing as the foundation, the stone the builders threw away. That becomes the cornerstone.
That's such a counterintuitive idea. It goes against how we usually think things work.
It really does. And the devotional points out, crucially, that this rejected stone, Jesus, wasn't destroyed by the rejection. Not at all.
He was exalted instead.
Exalted, yes. Made the unshakable foundation of the kingdom. It shows where the real power lies not in human approval, but in God's purpose.
That perspective shifts things quite a bit.
Yeah.
This then brings us to God's character. The devotional also explores.
Right, that balance.
Yeah, the balance between his
Yeah.
patience, sending warnings, prophets, waiting, and his justice. But it raises that tough question. Is there a limit to the patience?
That's the core of it, isn't it? The devotional puts it quite starkly. Disdain for God's voice is disdain for God himself.
Wow. So it's not just ignoring advice, it's deeper.
It's about recognizing his voice as an extension of his love, his being. And then, regarding judgment, the devotional makes a critical distinction.
Okay.
He says, judgment doesn't just fall on someone who makes a mistake, who stumbles once.
Which is reassuring, I think.
It is. Instead, it focuses on those who continually reject grace. It's about a pattern, a persistent, hardened posture against God's offered mercy and truth.
So it's the ongoing refusal, not the occasional slip-up.
Exactly. It's cumulative, like repeatedly ignoring a warning sign until you just don't see it anymore.
That leads right into another principle the devotional highlights. Rejecting Christ doesn't make him lesser. It only reveals who rejects him.
Ooh, that's powerful.
Isn't it? And it connects back to those leaders in Jesus' time. The devotional says they wanted the kingdom, but without the king.
They wanted the perks without the person.
Yes, the benefits, the heritage, maybe even the power associated with it, but not the submission to his authority.
And you see that today, absolutely. That desire for blessings, peace, hope, community.
All the good stuff faith offers.
But without the corresponding submission, the obedience, the cost of actually following his lordship in every part of life.
It's a subtle trap, maybe?
Very subtle. And this is where the devotional talks about the cornerstone having this dual function. It's fascinating.
Dual function, how so?
Well, Jesus is presented as this pivotal stone. You either lean on him, trust in him for life that's faith,
Okay.
or you stumble over him and fall. That's the path of pride, self-reliance, rejection.
So the same stone
Yeah,
saves or judges.
exactly. It's a paradox. The very thing that offers salvation becomes the point of stumbling for those who resist. We see this echoed elsewhere, like in First Peter or Romans.
Right, the stumbling block and rock of offense language.
Mhm. It depends entirely on how you approach that cornerstone, with faith or with prideful resistance.
And sometimes maybe even religion itself can kind of mask that resistance.
That's a keen insight the devotional brings out using that parable of the tenants.
Yeah, tell us about that again.
Well, they were given the vineyard to manage, right? Responsibility.
But they didn't act responsibly.
No, they wanted it for themselves. They wanted the fruit, the control, even killing the owner's messengers and son to try and claim it. It's a picture of wanting the benefits but rejecting the owner.
And the devotional applies that. How?
It draws a direct line to the heart that uses faith for self-promotion but rejects obedience.
So looking religious, maybe even quoting scripture.
But refusing to actually submit your life, your actions, your will to God's authority. It's
Wow.
wanting the identity without the obedience, using spiritual things to look good, but rejecting God's actual commands in daily life.
Like wanting to control your own little vineyard, your life, your plans, instead of stewarding it for God.
Precisely. It's a hidden rebellion, sometimes masked by outward religious activity.
Okay, this is getting very practical. Now, it's not just theology. So for the listener, what does this really mean?
Yeah, the devotional shifts right into application with some really sharp questions.
Like what?
Well, first, have I accepted Jesus' lordship or just his name?
That cuts deep, doesn't it?
Definitely. There's a huge difference there. What else? How have I responded to the warnings and calls God has sent into my life? Am I listening or just dismissing them?
Mm-hmm. And the last one?
Is Jesus my daily foundation or just a religious idea I occasionally reference? Is he the bedrock or just decoration?
Wow. Okay, those are questions to sit with. How does the devotional guide us in applying this?
It gives clear steps. First, it urges us, examine your foundation.
Really look at what you're building on.
Exactly. Is it truly the rock, Christ? Meaning, are your decisions, values, your whole identity aligned with him? Or is it built on that desire to control your own life, your own vineyard?
Like those tenants wanted.
Right. Are you living like the master of your own fate or as a steward of what God's given you?
That requires some honest self-assessment. What's the next step?
Building on that foundation means surrender completely to the lordship of Christ.
And that's more than just quoting him, you said earlier.
Oh, much more. It's about daily obedience, love, submission, aligning your will with his, especially when it's hard, when it costs something.
Letting his ways guide everything, finances, relationships, ambitions.
Choosing his path over your own preference consistently, humility over pride, forgiveness over resentment, day by day.
And there's a warning note too, isn't there?
Yes, a very serious one. The devotional reminds us of the gravity of spiritual rejection.
How does it put it?
It says starkly, every time we harden our hearts, resist the Spirit, and treat God's messengers with contempt, we are repeating the mistake of the tenants.
So, dismissing that quiet nudge, ignoring wise counsel, resisting conviction.
Or just turning away from truth spoken, maybe in a sermon, maybe by a friend. Each act of resistance can harden the heart further. It's a cumulative effect.
Making it harder to hear or respond next time.
Exactly. The stakes are incredibly high.
So wrapping this up, the core message from this H7O devotional, the cornerstone, acceptance or judgment, seems crystal clear.
It is. Christ is the cornerstone. His purposes won't be stopped. His word stands.
Regardless of human response, his kingdom continues.
Which leaves us really with that one profound personal question the devotional raises.
What are you building your life on?
That's the question to reflect on. What is your foundation?
Powerful stuff. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into these vital truths from the H7O Ministries Daily Devotional.
It's important material to grapple with.
It really is. And we're grateful to be part of the H7O Ministry and just so thankful for our amazing H7O community. If you'd like to learn more about the ministry or perhaps support the work that we do, please do visit us online at h7o.life.
Yeah, check it out.
We really appreciate you tuning in today.